For 7 days in the fall of 1994, the biking world's attention turned to Vail, Colorado, where the planet's best off-road bikers gathered to go head-to-head in the World Championships of Mountain Biking. The challenge, to push the envelope over 4 days of competition and decide who's the best of the best in an arena known as the Fat World.
Hi, I'm Greg LeMond, and welcome to the 1994 World Mountain Bike Championships.
This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this in my living life.
Bienvenidos al campeonato de mountain bike en Vail, Colorado. ¡Viva México!
A tutti i corridori, soprattutto italiani, una buona fortuna.
Bem-vindos a todos os brasileiros aqui em Vail.
Welcome to the World Championships of Mountain Bike here in Vail. It's great, really great.
Here we go. Mike King has been riding on adrenaline and his guts and through the pain. King on the left, Yannick Guihara on the right. Early, it is an advantage for King. Very close now. Yannick Guihara just a fraction of a second down. King riding strongly. Here comes Yannick Guihara. Yannick Guihara trying to pull even. Yannick Guihara very even. And it will be King. .140.
Slalom ride. It's out of hand. It's out of hand. It's out of hand.
Yeah, go King!
Here we go. And Caroline Shilstone, 1.418 second advantage over the missile Volvo Cannondale's Missy Giove. Watch Giove on the left, Chasson on the right. That means that Giove is really going to have to let it all hang out, really push the pace, put the hammer down, the missile, doing what she does best. Doing it now, but Chasson is right next to her, Jeff.
Chasson will not be shaken. Chasson will not be shaken. Anna Caroline Chasson. Blue course 1.072. Chasson advances, hugs and kisses into the finals. We'll watch for Donovan. She comes down on the left side. Got to win by .334. Berge can come down with some conservatism on the right. Lee Donovan on the left cannot afford that. Lee Donovan on the left has an advantage. Lee Donovan's got the advantage. Has Berge backed off? Lee Donovan. Donovan has to win by .334. Lee Donovan. Lee Donovan.
And will she do it?
Yes.
Yes. .536 for Lee Donovan over Rita Berge. Back up to the top. Joe Lawwell, Miles Rockwell. It is Lawwell with the advantage.
Lawwell will come down on blue. Rockwell has to win on the left side of the course. They're on course. The Marin Outlaw boys, ladies and gentlemen. Lawwell on the right. The blue course has got the advantage of .220. Rockwell has got to win big on the left side. Early advantage, Rockwell. Rockwell ahead of Lawwell. It is Rockwell by .250 by 3/100ths. It looks like Rockwell will advance.
Brian Lopes, Mongoose Rider on the red course. Mike King on blue.
When King made the decision to race despite the pain and the shoulder separation, he made the right decision because he is riding like a man possessed. Lopes, King with the early advantage. King with the early advantage. There comes Lopes. Both Lopes is down. Now Lopes has the lead. Lopes has the lead. No. We've got Lopes, yes, here comes King though. King charging, Lopes with the lead, King, and it'll be Lopes. And it will be enough for Lopes to go in.
At the top right now, the very talented young French rider who is really getting used to doing stuff at speed. She's done so well at the courses and downhill like Cap Guy, but she's really coming on now. Lee Donovan on the blue course, and
Donovan is down.
Oh, no, Donovan.
Donovan is down. My goodness, Donovan on the right has come down.
She's got to try to make up some time.
Anna Caroline Chasson is going to win by seconds. Watch the gates on the left. The junior world downhill champion. And with a .7-second advantage, she came out so hard, but it is Chasson.
The champion, and Caroline Chasson, France, riding for Sun Chippy. Now up to the top, one more run.
This is it.
Brian Lopes on the blue course. Rockwell on the red. Lopes has the advantage of 2.52. Rockwell has got to be on fire. Rockwell's got to be on fire. And Lopes, it's going to be, I think it's going to be Brian Lopes.
Brian Lopes did not lose enough. Brian Lopes is the winner.
It's hot racing out there, especially at night when you can't see much. You're just looking right in front of your front wheel and you don't know where you're going.
It's cool because it's something people can relate to. So a lot of people are going to get interested and come out and watch us, and we're just going to shred for them. It's fun.
Go hard or go home.
I had to let it hang out. Balls to the wall, no brakes.
Tonight's victor, our winner, the gold medalist, riding for Sun Chippy and Caroline Chasson. There you have them, our victors tonight. Joe Miles Rockwell and Brian Lopes.
So what we got here is we got the new Onze AHL pedal, ultra lightweight, Mud clearance, simple. The consumer can take it apart, put it back together really easily, service it himself. Second of all, we got the new Oz AHO brake here. The new AHO brake is a great setup, ultimate power, one finger braking. Will stop you on a dime. Next setup here, this is one of the several new tires that we have coming out. It's using a hard compound. It works great in all conditions. Allows you to get a good bite on the terrain. Shut up and ride.
Competition for day number 2 of the 1994 Grundig UCI World Mountain Biking Championships in Vail saw nearly 270 competitors line up to take on the challenge of cross country in the most physically demanding of all the disciplines. Among the favorites in the 175-strong men's field, two-time defending world champion Henrik de Journes of Denmark, plus John Tomac, Ned Overend, and David Tinker Juarez of the United States.
I'm just going to set my eyes on whoever's going to be one to take the lead. So just going to just set right there in the top 5 at least.
The course, a grueling 46-kilometer maze of single track, steep downhill and four-wheel drive road up, down, and around Vail Mountain. Go! And they're off as the huge pack of riders heads out of Vail Village towards the first of 8 loops they will ride. Each knows over the course of the next 3 hours it will be a battle of man and machine versus the mountain. Out quickly goes Dubin Ludovic of France wearing bib 92. Leading the rest of the pack, de Journes wearing coveted bib number 1 as defending cross-country champion, and bib 162, Tinker Juarez from the United States. Among those still creating attack positions back in the pack, the Netherlands, Bart Brentjens, and Paul Willerton of the United States, along with Ned Overend and John Tomac. Tinker Juarez, an odds-on favorite to win this race after besting an elite field in a regional competition just a week previous. After a strenuous climb of nearly 5 kilometers, bib 120, Daniele Pontoni of Italy, takes the lead into a dangerous single-track downhill through a series of switchbacks known as Onza Alley. Just seconds behind, the defending world champion de Journes. Right on his wheel, Tinker Juarez of the U.S. As the rest of the pack continues their pursuit, notice the difficult challenge of maintaining speed and balance through this tricky section with very little room to pass. A truly world-class course. The motorcycle leads the way into the Bud Light bailout. The first rider into the Bud Light bailout, Pontoni of Italy, wisely chooses to hike his bike down the gnarly cliff area, and then it's back on and pedaling downhill. In second place, it's still de Journes. Juarez still on his tail, now 6 kilometers into lap 1. And here comes the rest of the pack, most walking bikes down, looking almost like an army marching into battle. Some riders did say they'd ride this section and pick up valuable time along the way. As you can see, the bailout presents lots of trouble, even for the world's best mountain bikers. Into the fast lower downhill section. Pontoni still out in front, braking for the steep corner leading back to the Vail Village turnaround till lap number 2. 10 seconds back, it's de Journes, the Dane. 25 seconds behind Pontoni and 15 behind de Journes, it's Tinker Juarez of the U.S. Jose Brenes of Costa Rica, Jan Ostergaard of Denmark, Ned Overend, and Daniele Bruschi of Italy also now separating from the main pack of riders. Now climbing on lap 2, the Lion's Head loop, it's Pontoni, de Journes, and Juarez. Still back in the pack, Brentjens from the Netherlands, and another American favorite, Ned Overend, granddaddy of competitive mountain biking at age 39. Into the downhill section, and Pontoni continues to pace the field. 25 seconds now over de Journes. Juarez another 7 seconds behind. Tim Gould of Great Britain also hanging in there, but most riders are now drifting back almost a minute behind Pontoni's time. Now in the downhill section, back towards Vail Village with Pontoni in the lead. The rest of the riders still pushing to keep up. once again into the climb, and DeJournas and Tinker Juarez have now passed Pontoni. The second and third place riders churning the pedals, trying to keep up with the leader. Back into the turnaround section, Bahama Mama Falls. DeJournas in the lead, Pontoni in second, and Juarez in third.
This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Look at that. Oh, wow. That was close. That was a close call right there. Here he comes. He's catching him.
As they come down the steps, the rest of the pack continues to lag over a minute behind our leaders. Mechanical trouble for John Tomac, the former world champion. His chain has come off, and as riders pass, it also may mean the wheels have come off a chance for another world title. Back out on course, and Team Ritchie rider Henrik DeJournas still out in front as he heads back into Anza Alley. Tinker Juarez in pursuit in second place. Pontoni now alone in third. The rest of the riders tackling their own personal battles on this incredibly difficult course. Back into the bailout with DeJournas clinging to a slim lead over Juarez, who's just a few seconds behind. DeJournas continuing to stretch the lead in the downhill section. Pontoni continues to chase, but falls further back. His task now to hold on to third and hope the leaders fade. The rest of the pack becoming desperate in their attempt to catch up. Back out on course, and it's DeJournas and Tinker Juarez wheel to wheel in the climbing section. Juarez passes and tries to pull away. Pontoni still alone in third. Bart Brenton's now beginning to apply pressure from fourth place. On to Gore Creek Drive in Vail Village, and the leaders have flip-flopped again, heading back to the mountain for another lap with DeJournas in the lead. Into the uphill one more time, and it's a two-man race between DeJournas and Tinker Juarez. DeJournas continues to lengthen his lead in the downhill sections, while Juarez, the superior climber, closes the gap on the uphill.
Come on, Tinker, you got it. 20 seconds.
Pontoni still in third, but Brentjens begins to pressure from behind. On to Bahama Mama Falls, with only a few seconds separating first and second. Into the uphill one more time, and it's a two-man race between DeJournas and Tinker Juarez. Brentjens makes his move and passes Pontoni for third.
There's a pass. Fourth place guy just overtook.
Into rocks, shocks, and rolls with DeJournas hanging on. Into the finish area they come, and it's DeJournas from Denmark with an unprecedented third World Cross Country Championship. 37 seconds back, Tinker Juarez for the silver medal. Well, Brentjens captures the bronze. Pontoni, a disappointing fourth.
right now it's a little bit unreal for me, so, but of course it's a great feeling, and I'm happy to win.
Hendrick's another story. He's a class of his own.
In that last descent, he just got a big gap on me, and I just couldn't catch him.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? This is a very important bicycle because it is the world champion's bike. Mr. Henrik was using a sax derailleur, which proves that there is another competitor in this world that is not Japanese.
I'm Japanese.
Quality, in the end, prevails. Thank you very much.
Some new items from Sachs this year are the Sachs 3x7 hub, which puts the 3 speeds around the front of the bike in the rear hub, making shifting a little bit simpler, a little bit easier, and a little more efficient. Also, we have the new asymmetrical brake levers, which make braking a little bit easier and a little bit more comfortable. And the new Power Grip Pro shifters, which are a rotational shifting unit with a locking feature in case you get to someplace pretty bumpy and you want to make sure you don't accidentally overshift. Also have a short rotation and make shifting a little simpler and a lot safer.
much better than in England. Thanks a lot.
They're beach in man. They ride better, they fit better. They're available in 2 widths, 20 different sizes, an array of colors, waterproof, breathable. They're the state of the art. Well, the reason it's so hot is all the straps are biomechanically placed for the most power on the upstroke and the down. Go right across the ball of the foot, across the highest part of the instep. And the sole, the upper, wraps around underneath the sole. So when you pull up, you're pulling from the bottom of the shoe rather than pulling the sole off the shoe. Lamson cycle shoes, I can fit you.
Next up, the women's cross-country race, a battle of the best lady mountain bikers in the world. 96 total riders on course for 6 laps and over 2 hours of ride time. Thousands of race fans line the course for what should prove to be another spectacular competition.
I think it's killer. I waited all year for this. Now I'm going to see it happen.
Among the favorites, a host of Americans, including Juliana Furtado, Susan DiMattei, and Ruthie Mathis. But on any given race day, anyone can win. And they're off, charging down Gore Creek Drive, working for early position before heading out onto the starter loop. The early leader, bib 270, Alison Sider of Canada. Hot on her trail, Jeannie Longo-Ciprelli of France and Juliana Furtado of America. Rest of the pack pedaling hard to keep up.
And this is a scene that you don't see all the time, especially something like the World Championship.
Coming into the transition area and the first time over Bahama Mama Falls, it's Volvo Cannondale rider Alison Sider of Canada stretching her lead, heading out for the next loop. Behind her, Longo-Ciprelli crashes coming down the steps and is passed by Furtado, who loses valuable time to Sider, but moves into second place. Longo-Ciprelli recovers, but drops to third as she pedals out onto lap number 2.
Back up on the bike now, but clearly disconcerted by that.
Also still in the hunt, Carolyn Alexander of Great Britain and Chantal Dalcourt from Switzerland. Susan DiMattei and Ruthie Mathis from America as well. The rest of the pack now over 1 minute behind the first lap leader, straining to stay within striking distance should Sider falter or fatigue. Into Anza Alley they go. Sider continues to push the pace in the steep downhill single track. Longo-Ciprelli has repassed Furtado using her powerful climbing strength developed over many years of road cycling and Olympic competition. Furtado hangs on to third. Making a move on Furtado now is fellow American Susan DiMattei right on her wheel. The motorcycle leads the way into the infamous Bud Light bailout with Sider, Furtado, and DiMattei 1, 2, and 3. Back towards Vail Village, and Allison Sider is in command, out in front by a 22-second margin over Furtado. Down comes Furtado, all alone in second place, lengthening the gap on her pursuers in the downhill section. Still in third place and charging hard, Susan DiMattei. Now in fourth place, another American making her move, Ruthie Mathis. Jill Smith, another Canadian, also in the mix. While the rest of the pack pushes on far behind Sider. Into the climb once again. Sider continues to pace the pack. Still in second place, Julianne Furtado. In third, Susan DiMattei, and it's Longo and Mathis battling for fourth and fifth.
Come on, Ruthie!
Sarah Valentine is also now mounting an attack, closing in on the other leaders. The rest of the pack showing signs of fatigue as they continue to chase, fight each other and their own personal wars.
All right, Lori, looking good. Keep it up.
Come on, Big Al! Come on, Allison!
Back on Gore Creek Drive, and Furtado continues to pursue Sider. Now almost a minute 20 gap. 50 seconds behind Furtado, it's Susan DiMattei looking back for her pursuers. Into Anza Alley they go, with Allison Sider of Canada still out in front and increasing her lead. Now in second place, it's Susan DiMattei of the United States. Sarah Valentine and Furtado still battling it out for third place. A host of other riders are now left to pick up the scraps with time running out. Coming into the final downhill descent, Sider by a wide margin in first place. DiMattei firmly in control of second place. Furtado still clinging to third. Putting on a late charge, Sarah Valentine eyeing the victory stand. Longo Ciprelli still charging hard despite a tough day on the mountain. Into the finish they come. The leader by a huge margin, Allison Sider of Canada, the world champion for women's cross country in 1994.
It's never over to the end, and going up the last time up the Vail climb, I really had some bad cramps in my legs, and I was really worried. Going up the Golden Peak, I tried really careful, and you know, but I had a good lead by then, so then I just hold them off.
In second place with a big smile, Susan DiMattei. In third place, a surprise rider from Breckenridge, Colorado, Sarah Valentine.
Not bad for an old hag, huh?
In fourth place, a woman who would not give up, Jeannie Longo Ciprelli from France. In fifth place, Ruthie Mathis from the U.S. Disappointing sixth place for Juliana Furtado.
I don't think I could have imagined a worse day I could have had on Worlds. And the fall was just, it was no big deal. I was losing lots of time, so
simply one nation dominated.
This wasn't my day.
The U.S. is strong. They have
I mean, I gave it everything I had, and
graduates. She was one too.
It wasn't very much, but it was all I had today.
Allison Sider.
I just have more fun on it. I call it surfing. I no longer just ride down the hill, I play on the hill. It's a real exciting bike for us. We've worked on it for about 18 months. It blends carbon fiber and aluminum construction, and it's a fully active design, meaning the suspension's always working, whether you're braking, pedaling, standing, whatever, and it rides great.
Trek, it's American bicycling technology.
Incredibly awesome. They go so fast. Totally gnarly. I mean, these guys are practically losing it right here, and it's only 10 seconds in the course.
It's radical.
Gigantic hammer.
Immediately. Here comes our next rider to the Hudson tire. Oh, he's off! I told you, there he is, high side. You folks keep standing.
Hi, how you doing?
This is it. Showtime. Main event.
Josh Rose qualified 5 seconds faster than anybody else on Thursday. That seems like we'll find out what happens today. Here we come, Receiver at 25 miles an hour through the speed trap. Here comes Gachet. First place. First place. We've got a missile. Her number is 304 now. That's a new number from what she originally had. Riding for Volvo Canada, absolutely electrifying. The time to beat at 7:08.3. She is hunkering it down. Across the line, yes! Yes!
Dude, the pressure's off. I'm down. That's all I gotta say.
I feel so good.
I feel so good. I had so much. I was having a hard time staying focused this race. I kept coming in and out of my focus. I didn't know, what was wrong with me, and I think I just was super nervous, and I just said, before I got to the top, it felt so tight. I'm like, I'm taking my pads off. I can't move, man. I can't breathe. I'm like, I gotta get these things off, and I just took those pads off.
Obviously the right decision.
Definitely the right decision. I'm stoked, man. I mean, if this pulls through, I'm gonna be so happy.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Oh, thank you. Okay.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the playing of the anthem for the United States of America.
Mountain bikes are changed completely since the start in the 80s. It's all suspension, it's all high-tech, it's super lightweight. The bikes are completely different animals than they were just 5 years ago, and they're going to keep changing. Okay, we're talking toys here. This is the kinds of things that the technology that's coming into the sport. This is a thermoplastic fork, 2 inches of travel. This fork weighs only 2.5 pounds. It's a head shock. This has been developed by Cannondale as our proprietary suspension system. This is a resin transfer mold rear swing arm. Very lightweight, only 740 grams, super, super rigid. You can stand up, jump on this baby all day long and you never crack it. This is a downhiller's 3-inch travel fork. It's going to have more travel. The reason you need more travel is because the downhillers go down so much faster, they need more shock absorbing. These are the kinds of things that are coming in the sport. The bikes are getting longer, stronger, and faster, and that's why we had 7 people on the podium, 2 world championships. Cannondale, the future of cycling.
Get off the course now!
Hey, to see, we're out here. We love this stuff. Pero estoy acá muy contenta. Gigantic, gigantic, gigantic.
avec Andy Stettler.